Shift your mind.
Yes.
Y'all, we gotta shift our minds, y'all, for real. And raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Christy.
And I am Mia, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Okay, so last episode, we talked about self-betrayal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's a good one, y'all. So, basically, this is when you are lying to yourself, and you know you lying to yourself, and you are moving in a way that is in line,
Right.
in alignment with that lie.
Right.
So,
Out
if
of alignment.
a pattern of saying yes when you want to say no, you're like, I don't want to, but you're saying yes. That's self-sabotaging, ignoring your own needs, your basic care. Not taking accountability for your actions is also another way of having self-betrayal. And depending to be something other than your authentic self. It's betraying yourself.
Woo! Yeah, not being in alignment with yourself. And I'm learning that too. I think that's why, you hear like, be authentic. Be authentic. I hear that so much these days just because so many people are not living in alignment with them. Anyway, so.
Yeah, no, but
Such a good
and
discussion.
I think be authentic is really, even when you're making daily decisions, like we talked about this event. I did not want to go to that because that was not authentic. I knew that I was going to be phony kicking, so I'm not doing that.
Not self-sabotaging. Yeah, we were talking about like, people, come on, you gotta shift that mind, shift it.
Yes. So what are we talking about today?
So today we're talking about the signs from the universe. Basically, like, just how spirit, the universe, even our angels, our guides will communicate with us. And I think that's important because I think, the whole angel number thing is really huge, but there are other ways that we are able to communicate and even get confirmation on things. So
oh my goodness.
I thought this would be a really good conversation to have.
It's I love this. Some people would say, like, this is, when God speaks to them, when spirit speaks to you, whatever, when you feel like you are having communication with energies or beings that are not of this earth.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense? Look, I'm like, so how does the universe speak to us? So when you are tuned in to how the universe is communicating with you, life can becomes a lot less confusing.
Yep.
And you start to feel a lot more aligned and connected. So there's this one affirmation that I sometimes say when I'm feeling like I need to remind myself. I say the universe is always conspiring on my behalf.
Yes, that's true.
I say that all the time. Like, they're working on my body. Even if now it's okay. This looking a little, but I know that it's work. So when I'm feeling like, damn, do the universe have my back? What is going on? I try to quiet myself enough to be able to listen.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about a meditation. I mean, just stilling yourself, like, be still and paying attention to what's around you. And the signs are everywhere, and it does allow you to feel more connected to, let's just say, the oneness.
Yeah.
That we're, like, seriously, we're literally all from the same place. So I don't know, I think that's just a really one way to, it really allows you to just be connected with everything. Like, I notice, I've literally used trees as pendulums. Sitting down, and I'm looking at, I did this at the pool the other day. I'm just sitting there looking, and I'm like, and the wind is doing, like, weird stuff. I'm like, it's not just going this way. I'm like, And I said, okay, you're going to be yes and you're going to be no. And then so I'm talking to him and the wind is blowing. And I'm just like, this is amazing because it's always there. Like, you see the wind where the top of the trees are just blowing, but the whole bottom of the tree is still. Depending on what's going on in your life. Like, to me, that means, baby, keep reaching up, but you got to stay still, stay rooted in what you're doing. So grounded. It totally, like, it, you know what I mean? Like, it depends on what it is that you're going through or you're trying to experience or manifest or whatever.
I think that's a really great idea and something that just popped in my head when we were talking about being, like, connected to the source or the oneness. electricity. You know, when you put in the plug and like everything is connected. Like I feel like it really requires you to take a moment and to just be still, to allow that to happen, because I think that's why there are so many distractions to keep us from being able to do that.
And you know what? Real talk. One of the things that we can do to help us align with that oneness and really pay attention is making sure your chakras are aligned or not. You know what I mean? Like, that's a thing, y'all. Energy healing, like,
it is a thing.
It's a thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Because if everything begins with energy.
Yes.
How else will a disease manifest if it didn't begin with something being off? Like
exactly.
So I think that's a really interesting point of view that people need to really come to understand.
It's all energy.
It really is. So another way that the universe will speak to us in various ways is through people.
Now this is a good one. This happens so much to me, where I've asked, is that River?
Yes, it was. I was like, who is that? You want to come up here?
My little gangbanging cat. He's hood.
Look, do I need to give you the lock that you need to scratch off? There you go.
River!
He said, look, it looks just like rope. Okay.
So, I can't say how many times I've asked a question out loud. Like, I need answers to this, right? Or, make this make sense to me. And I'll be on the phone with somebody that we're not talking about what I'm asking for. And it's just, and they'll just start saying stuff. And I'm like, do you know what you're saying? You know, they're having a whole conversation. So people sometimes will be messengers for you and don't even. And
it's
don't
okay.
even know. I'm about to spank your butt.
I just don't want him scratching me, because I haven't had a claw in my leg in a minute.
Okay. Where'd he go?
He's right there.
Okay.
You're good. I know you're just playing.
Sorry, you guys.
Smell something. Do I smell like catnip? Maybe because I've been playing with herbs today.
Oh. So people can be messengers without,
and I love that,
even knowing that they're giving you exactly what you need to hear.
And there's that saying, I'm sure you've heard it, is that, be mindful. You never know if you're entertaining an angel. Because I think a lot of times, especially if someone comes up to you and they don't look the way that you think a normal person or a well-to-do or well-off person should look, it's like, leave me alone. I don't want anything. I don't have anything. But sometimes when you open up yourself, you will gain something from it. It's like, wow, I really needed that. Uh-oh. River is, you guys, these pets. Maybe River's giving me a sign from the universe. I'm like, maybe he's saying,
is he trying to tell me?
I know, like, what are you trying to say? Am I off? Like, what's going on?
But I love that, just even having the mindset, if you don't believe it. But it's such a good way to me, illustrate the golden rule.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you never know who it is that you are speaking to, and what type of energy you're getting. Like, you just never know. Man, paying it forward is something. Like this, and because it always comes back.
Yes, it always does. Plus, and I just feel like, again, the world is created. This 3D realm that we are in, I feel like, is created in a way that we're constantly distracted. We're inundated with stuff. We got technology, we have TV, we have media, we have Hollywood, we have social, like everything. There are so many distractions. So that's definitely something to just remain open about. So what's another?
Okay, so synchronicities. Well, I mean, these are my favorite because I just feel like they happen all the time. And this is something that I think it's easier for people to acknowledge. So let's just say there's no coincidences, right? So let's say you're planning a trip. Like this is like real stuff. Like planning a trip. This actually just happened to me. Like real talk.
Oh yeah, tell me. Or tell us.
I was like, I want to go someplace for my do like a little birthday trip. I was like, I do want to go someplace where I can have me a little moment, do a little energy work on myself, you know. And I was trying to think, do I want to go to the mountain? This is exactly what I said. Do I want to go to the mountains or do I want to go by water? I was trying to figure out kind of what was the visual. So I opened up Canva, that app, and on it is, I have no idea where this came from. There's like, how they show you your projects. This is not one of my projects. It's like I just opened the app and it says seek the ocean.
Wow.
And I was like, I said, well, I guess that answers that question. Just when you think of somebody.
That happens to me a lot.
And they call.
Where they text.
Right.
Or I run into them. Like there have been times too. Like I'll be on my way to work. This has actually happened a couple of times. I'll be on my way to work and, I'll say like, I really want to run into my boyfriend just so I can kiss his face before I go. And this has happened like multiple times. As I'm pulling out, he's pulling in, and then we just like pull off to the side before I go to work. But it's just like, it's so cool. If you all really believe it and you feel it, it is true, and it is so, it happens. It really does. So another thing, which, the way that the universe communicates with us, and we talked about this in the beginning, angel numbers.
Yes.
And they don't necessarily have to be angel numbers. It can be numbers that maybe mean something to you, like 4477 or something. It can be like maybe your old home address or
your birthday.
Yeah.
I see my birthday a lot.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't see my birthday a lot. I see angel numbers like crazy.
And you guys, and we said this before, and I'm sure people know this, but when you do see an angel number, you're like, okay, why do I keep seeing 333? I've been seeing 1133, 111, and 333 consistently. Honestly, daily. At this point, it's and several times a day. So so just Google it, you guys. If you see a number, repeating number, say angel number, and put the number in and see what comes up. And honestly, this is one of those times where you have to trust yourself and what resonates with you.
Right. Because if it feels right.
Yeah, and because I can say I've never looked at something like, oh, no, this ain't, and I'm like, damn, that's probably right. You know what I mean? Because you know what you're being.
Right.
You know what's going on with you, and whether or not you are being honest with yourself about what's going on with yourself.
Yeah. So
sometimes these signs from the universe can also help us to start the healing process. Because I really do think Spirit does not want our I don't think it is necessary for everyone's healing to be, this.
Oh, crazy.
Something, yes, this very traumatic event. I think that, everyone chooses how their journey would be.
Absolutely.
And I can say, and I have definitely chosen to have some trauma to learn some lessons in this life. But I don't think that that's a necessity, though. So if we are listening and open to what's happening in the universe, some of these decisions we probably wouldn't make to get us in those situations. But also, if we're listening and it's just say somebody keeps going, everybody you talk to is in therapy, and you know that you've been avoiding doing something and then healing with yourself, the universe is saying, heifer, take your butt to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Yes, you know what I mean? Just
one of these things.
Just do the thing.
Right.
So but when we are fighting ourselves, we're like, we don't want to hear that. It's just like, I don't have time for that, and like, ain't nothing wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like we do these things for ourselves, and the universe tries its hardest. Before I knock you over the head with this 2x4, before we bitch slap you, please see these synchronicities we're putting out here. We're trying to tell you.
And honestly, I really feel like this journey, and I think I said this before, but I really feel like this journey is just, one, it's being hyper aware of everything and very observant, everything that's going around you, everything that's happening. And then also it's you being accountable for all of your shit and being responsible for it and being willing to work through it and come face to face with it. Like, it's just, I mean, I know that a lot of people talk about like the spiritual journey, but it's just you are truly coming into yourself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the journey, like knowledge of self, you guys, and not to get too tangential on this, but I love the subject of Mia. Like, and I wish everybody could learn to love the subject of themselves. Like, that's my favorite class.
I'm getting to that point.
Like, because I feel like it never stops.
Never. Never.
It's like, I mean, there's always something new to learn about yourself because we are continually experiencing this life. So our experiences can change our perspective. And when our perspective changes, we go, wait a minute, I didn't know this about me. I would have, just like, I didn't know that about me.
Right.
And it's so fascinating because now every time I learn something new about myself or even become aware of something that I didn't necessarily, you know how you know something, but you're not necessarily aware of it? Like the awareness comes in. It's fascinating. Like just absolutely.
It really is. And I will say that being
you can never be bored.
You really truly are never bored. And I will say also going through this journey and having people be there with you, or like your children or spouse or boyfriend or whatever, them seeing you come to this realization of yourself and the stuff that you do and taking responsibility for your own shit starts to trigger them does the same for them. Right. So it's like again, once you turn your light on, the next person turns their light on, and then they help the next person turn their light on. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. So another way that, the universe will speak to us is through song. And I can't say this hasn't happened to maybe once. Well, I will say, I don't know, I was going to say the journey when the music shifted, but
oh yeah, well that's okay. I would tell you when this has to be about 2018. I was introduced to Archangel Sandalphon, who's he's like the angel of music, and this was one of the first ways that I got confirmation. I'm like, oh no, y'all for real listening to me. I have said, in that time of grief, in that moment, just like just help me understand. I need some type of understanding. And I said, okay, Archangel Sandalphon, let's can we talk? And I know you speak through music. I'm going to turn on my radio. Like I barely listen to the radio. I'm always playing a playlist. I'm going to turn on my radio, and I'm listening. Turn on the radio, and I'm telling you, it has happened so much. And even when you don't want to hear the answer, but it's the truth, you're like, oh.
So I'm about to ask a real silly question. Where do you listen to the radio?
Girl, I just put it on, like, in the car.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought you meant, like, oh.
Like, where? Because I have car. Okay, the car. So you listen to the radio in the car. Okay.
Yes. So I've done this before in my car, like, several times in the car. It's kind of like you having that, your car talks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do
that has, so yes, I do think that music speaks to, how many times have you heard a song? That just made me so excited, where you're just like, no, seriously, how are they speaking my whole life right now? Mm-hmm. Who wrote this?
Oh yeah, that's happened to me. Or it can even be like a relative.
Like, where's my diary? Is it missing? Because there's no way.
But it can even be like a relative who really loves this artist or something, and for whatever reason, that relative is on your heart or on your mind, and then a song that is their favorite comes up on the radio. So, yes. Oh my gosh, I remember Auntie used to love this song.
Oh, scent and sound are two of the most powerful memory recall devices.
Yep.
A smell. Oh my goodness, a smell. I got this wolf nose too. A smell can take me back. Woo.
Yeah.
And a good song. You know how you hear the
song is what gets me. It's music. It's
the smell gets me first, but I can hear a song and just smile, because it takes me back to like if I was dancing, or if I'm someplace, or if I'm, we're sitting out having one of those just beautiful talks, and the track is playing in the background. I love that.
It's like I remember when this song came out, what I was doing. Are you telling me something? I think the universe is telling me something. What's
you guys, on? My cat, I don't know what he smells something on you. Were you dealing with catnip today? Because he is over here. He would not leave her alone. I mean, I've threatened him and everything.
I don't know. As long as I don't, just let me know if I have something I shouldn't have on me.
So
maybe it's the chair. I don't know.
So I would say, and music in and of itself is just powerful.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, and so we need to be mindful of that. And we've talked about this before.
Because music, I mean, you can it
can take you over it, and
really
depending on what type, and it's all type of songs can do that. That's why you need to be careful.
Yes, you really do have to be careful. But there are some songs where it's like I cannot stop playing it, and it has to get into my soul. Like I tell people, like it has to be in my soul.
I listen to this with my soul.
Right. But music does do that. Another thing is just, having a random thought. Like you can be sitting here and then all of a sudden red flashes in your head, or, you just get this thought that for whatever reason it's out of the ordinary.
Wow. So colors, excuse me, like numbers, they have meanings. So they do carry a certain energy with them. So I would say color is definitely a good and an easy one. But if you start noticing, man, why do I see so much blue lately? I never even used to like blue. All of a sudden, blue is my favorite color. And you're noticing shifts about yourself and everything you see.
Yeah, it's green for me now.
Yeah. Oh well.
Green.
No, green is my color right now. I'm just using blue as an example, but I always like green and red.
Yeah, green is my jam. Like I think I officially signed it off as that's my color.
I love green.
It really is. But you can just be sitting there. I mean, I'm sure you've had that happen to you. You're just sitting and then a random thought just falls into your head, and you weren't even thinking about it. It just,
Yeah.
And there have been times where that's happened, where I'm doing something, and then all of a sudden, someone's name will come up, and then I'll just text them like, "Hey, just thinking about you. Hope everything is going well. Oh, by the way, something,
Yes.
That stuff happens.
So let's talk about, I want to dive into when something pops in your head, because oftentimes I know people here, and I've even said it to people, like, you have to listen to yourself. Like, you honestly do know the answer to this. And so what a lot of people will say is, well, how do I know that
it's not me?
Right. So the way I look at that is, because, so especially when you're first listening, it's, you like, that's my voice, that's me. See, I'm just trying to do something because, and oftentimes we do that, one, because we don't like the answer that we're telling ourselves, because we know it. Sometimes we're like, no, that can't be it. That can't be it. I'm right. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to do this with myself, and that's okay. Like, everybody should do everything in their own time. Right. But I look at your intuitive voice, that the little voice in your head where you get these random, call your mother. Anything. Don't forget this, or I've even had, like, hey, go pick up this book and turn and read this, like, and it's just be exactly what I need it to be. But I look at it as it is you, but it is the highest, most wise version of yourself,
quote unquote, your higher self.
Exactly what people call their higher self. So sometimes when spirit is speaking to us, so angels, will appear in different people and places. The universe will speak to you in so many different ways. But one way that I decipher whether or not this is something, and I hate to say whether it's good or bad, like if this is direction that is coming from my highest self, or is this my 3D self?
Yeah.
Because is this my ego talking to me right now? Anytime, like real talk, anytime you are hearing something from yourself and it makes you feel uncomfortable, it does not feel good. It's just like, that doesn't even sound right, but I guess that's something else, okay? Because wisdom from your higher self, there's like a peace that comes with that. Even if you don't like it, you're like, I know, okay.
There's like an alignment there. It's
yes,
like, yep,
it feels,
right.
It feels easy.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's a knowingness that comes with when there's a random thought that comes up. And, and it's so easy for us to forget, to move past these random thoughts just because, we're working right here. I might get a random thought right now. Okay, I'll call my mom in a minute. But then the day goes on and I forget. Mm-hmm. But there are certain, when it won't let you go. Like sometimes that actually happens to me. I'm like in the kitchen doing something and okay, got it. It's almost like it starts yelling. And I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm going to do it now, So I think that's such a beautiful way to deepen a relationship with yourself when you start being able to decipher your highest self
and trust it.
Woo! Think about it. Most people break up because of communication issues. Stop the communication issues within yourself. Learning to trust. Yes.
And so for me, like in the beginning, and I just do it occasionally, I'll use a pendulum. Like if I don't really trust what I'm hearing, then I'll just use a pendulum to confirm.
Oh. Yeah. I would,
or maybe pull a card.
I would do a pendulum too, but I was thinking about how many times, like when I pulled the pendulum and I know I wanted to say something.
Well, that's why.
And when it doesn't, I'm like, this thing is off. I need to clean it.
Nope. Let me try this one.
I'm laughing. Seriously, how many times have somebody picked cards for themselves or something, like they're trying to get an answer, like, these cards, you're going to keep pulling, doing this. Who shuffled this? Right. This is not right.
You, ma'am. You.
But that's actually kind of funny, but it's real though. That's just another way of, we're asking and we keep getting an answer that we don't, but you're like, are you sure? Man, I'll ask later. They must be busy.
And then you like ask the question to, you ask another question on top of the question.
Yes. Yeah. And then you finally get the answer that because you asked it like 8 times and finally you get the answer you want to hear, and they be like, okay, I'm going with that. It's like, what happened to the other 7 times? I do feel like sometimes the universe and spirit is like, okay, this what you want to hear right now? I'm going to give it to you that's comfortable for you. And that's another thing. When spirit is talking to you, they're going to present it in a way that is comfortable for who you are. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to jar you. Right. So that's why sometimes you do have to be quiet. Especially if this is a new conversation that you're starting. Right. Mm-hmm. They might not come in and just open up your window and you see a full figure standing in front, like, we've been trying to talk to you, girl.
Hello.
But there will be a nudge, a nag, or words that you don't even, I've never heard of this before. Why does this word keep coming up? Don't let that go. Yep. That's happened to me so many times.
Mm-hmm. And again, it just takes you just being aware, being open.
And being curious. Mm-hmm. Curious about who you are. I
wonder what does this mean?
What does this mean?
Yep.
Like, and I think I'm definitely I'm a whole kid when it comes to curiosity. I see everything just differently than I used to even 2 years ago.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Not that it's so different from everybody else. I'm saying different from me.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So there's a sense of wonderment when I'm looking around. So it has increased my curiosity. Mm-hmm. So things that I know that I would not have noticed before. And I've always been a nature lover. There's something different about the way I'm seeing life now, and people and patterns and behaviors. I'm like, man, I see the pattern. I see the code all through this. Yeah. But it's it's still so beautiful to me. So that increases my curiosity about this
and you
life.
want to keep doing more. You want to keep looking into it more. And I will say that having my dog has done that to me too, or done that for me, just allowing me to see things and experiences and people from a different perspective. Because we just don't often take the time to just look at life just in this, I don't even know how to explain it. Anyway, but random thoughts.
No, dreams.
So yeah, next is dreams.
Yes.
I'm not a big dreamer. I will have dreams on occasion, but I can usually not decipher them.
Yeah, dreams are. I'm not a good dream interpretation person. Like my knowledge isn't depthful at all in that area. But if there's symbols or signs or animals that I know mean something to me and it came up in a dream, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute.
No, animals, yes.
That wasn't a dream.
What are you telling me? Yes, animals, definitely yes.
But I know a lot of people that's their talk time.
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, so was it Dolores Cannon that said this or something? Whenever we sleep, we're actually traveling or we're you know. And I honestly believe that, because there are some mornings where I wake up and I am just out of it, almost like a journey.
Yeah.
Like I can tell that I've been somewhere, and I don't know how to explain it, but I definitely feel that way. But as far as the dreams, there have been occasions where I've met people in my dreams, and I've met them in real life. But as far as like signs and stuff,
I've heard this saying that I think is kind of true, but I also want to put a little disclaimer on this, like leave this up to your interpretation, because so what I've heard is this: anytime you remember a dream, it's a message.
I believe that.
So, I dream all the time. I just don't remember my dreams, but sometimes I remember dreams, and the dreams I remember are
very vivid,
and it seemingly at first look random. So that's why I said this is up to interpretation, because one minute I'm walking up some stairs, and then of a place I don't know, and then all of a sudden I'm in my house. You know what I mean? Like, so all these things appear random from because I'm remembering it, right? In this way, it's like, okay, then I always hear these are weird things. So that's why I said leave this up to interpretation, because oftentimes we want a message that's clear. So, now you Googling, okay, what does it mean if I'm falling in a dream? And, you're really trying to figure out what that means. But I do think there is definitely some truth to, if you remember a dream, especially if you're not normally a dreamer, that there is some nuggets there for you. And so I look at it like, this is how I started kind of recalling what my dreams were trying to tell me. I just said to myself, I'm going to recall, I'm remembering this dream, but I start looking at it like I'm looking at what's in the background. So how you're watching a movie and you're like, wait a minute, hold on, what was that? Because you're looking at what's happening in front of you, but there's always some foreshadowing, or one of those awesome little hide and seek to let you know, like it's a little goose egg over there. Did you see that? That's how I watch all the Marvel stuff, y'all. I'm going back and forth. I love those Marvel
But that's kind of cool too when you look at life in that way. It's like, there's always, and I honestly do believe that there is always something.
There's always something
a little bit
there.
Oh my gosh! So I had this client, and it was a very emotional session. But as we were talking, I'm like, your guides have been talking to you all of this time. They've just been dropping little nuggets, little hints for you to pick up, little golden coins. And you just have to be aware and conscious enough to see it. And I think oftentimes we're just not. We're just, social media or something. We're just distracted. Sorry,
I do think that we do lose somewhat of our, let me just say, our emotional intelligence as human beings by having all of the things we do to distract us from being with ourselves. And now, I'm not going to sit up here and conspiracy theorize that is made that is done purposefully.
Yeah.
But what we can be certain of is that we have a lot more things and devices that take us away from us being able to have conversation with ourselves.
Yes,
and again, I'm not saying it's done purposely or not. I'm just saying we know that for a fact.
I think it's done purposely.
Think about it.
People
People don't know phone numbers anymore. It's like we've learned to. And I love technology. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that this is a bad thing. I'm just being honest with what my observation is of life. We've learned how to, what I've experienced in my life. We have learned to not depend on ourselves as much. I don't have to remember phone numbers or think or do anything because it's all in my hand, in my pocket. So now I'm using less of my brain. And you know, the brain is like a muscle. If you stop doing push-ups and sit-ups, guess what? It's going to turn flabby. It's going to get loose. But if you keep exercising your brain, then that helps to activate every other part of you as well. So I just feel like not that we're dumbing down, we're just evolving the way in which we communicate with ourselves and with other people, and the way that we experience this life. We're kind of glossed over. It's like a filter.
It really is. It's like a veil.
So I think, you know, I love these phones. I think they're awesome and I think they're amazing. But I do want to be, you know, I do wish that everybody could experience, like, don't forget how to experience this life, not through your phone and a video later, but as you're actually doing it. Like, how can we, like, you know, you go to a concert and people have their phone up like the whole time and you're looking at the concert, like you're in the second row of a concert and you have your phone up like this and you're looking at Jill Scott through your phone.
I've had
but it's like,
moment.
if you just do like this, it's like, now I can see her and hear, it's like and then by the time it's over, it's like, oh man, yeah, I did go to the concert. How was the concert? Oh, let me look. You know, it's just, I think that's, I'm like, I want to experience it.
There is something to be said about that, yeah. Because I am on my phone, not as much as I used to be, but I've had that moment where I was someplace and everyone had their phone out, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Right. Hey.
And then I'll just put my phone down and just be in the moment. So I do get that, you know, again, just not being distracted. And actually, this ties in, next what we're going to talk about, ties in what you were saying, symbols from nature is another way. I told Mia, this maybe happened a month and a half ago. No, maybe a month, I don't remember. Ran into a dead crow. and you guys, there's like so much stuff that's been happening. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But so a dead crow, I'm like, what does that mean? I've never run into a dead crow. So of course I look into that and whatever, some stuff comes up. I talk to Mia about it, some stuff comes up. But symbols from nature, like Mia was talking about with the trees and the wind and even the water, like, you know, you're someplace and the water just changes directions or something.
Yes.
And it's like, pay attention.
Yes.
Because everything around us is not only a gift, but we are being communicated with.
And I would say learn how to appreciate the subtlety of communication.
Because I think that's another thing too. People think it's like a slammed door or broken glass or hey Mia,
right,
Mia.
Now I have heard that before. I'm like, turn around, like, okay, so nobody sees anybody. So now I know I heard my name, but
you know what I mean.
But yeah, no, but seriously, like the sky's going to open up. Remember we talked about this before, and so sometimes there will be some moments like that where like, okay, this is obnoxiously obvious. Like, okay,
Can't
what do y'all want?
One.
Right. But oftentimes it is the subtleties. Like,
very subtle.
That's why these devices and everything that we have is so easy. It's so easy for them to take us away from having conversations with ourselves and even listening to spirit, because there's the subtlety there.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, when we're sitting still, think about it. If you go to dinner by yourself, people will, go out to eat, but they can't have to be on their phone the whole time.
You're right. Yeah.
And
And you know what's interesting?
And I'm not really having a meal with myself. I'm having a meal with everybody. You know what I mean? So feel it, like experience it while you're doing it sometimes.
Sometimes it's like, I mean, as far as me capturing, that's, something else, because, I grew up with the camera in my face, so I like to capture memories. But I get it as far as like being distracted. It really is important to just have that moment, because that's never going to happen again. That's why it's the present. But think about it, and thank you for sending that back, because it was gone. All maybe I won't say all, and I probably sound like a conspiracy theorist at this point, but it's fine. Whatever it's supposed to be. The things that distract us carry a vibration with them. And think about it. Everything is energy. So if we need to sense, like our hands can sense, pick up that energy. But if we have distractions, that frequency that is coming with those distractions, it's going to interrupt the subtle energy that we're able to feel, if that makes sense. So that's just something that came through. But another thing is during our meditation, I think this is something that happens for me mostly. Well, I'll say maybe half the time. During meditation, I'll get messages, I'll get downloads. It's like, okay, yeah, all right, thank you.
No, I think, especially once you find whatever your method of meditation is, and like seriously, you guys, there are so many different ways to meditate. It does not all, like, I know that there, what we see on TV and what a lot of people are even pushing on IG, on social, just regurgitating the same method. It's, you guys, there's breathing meditations. You can do a guided meditation on YouTube. Walking meditations is one of my favorites. Like, just walking, and I'm not even there. I'm just walking. You know what I mean? I'm just walking, and I'll do it in my house sometimes. When they wake me up in the middle of the night, I'm just pacing. Remember I called you and I said, girl, I did 12,000 steps in my house last night. No, seriously.
She was for real.
And right. I mean, like, very real conversations. But so also another way that I get answers during meditation is writing. So let's say you're having an issue, or let's just say, you're just trying, there's something like, I need some clarity here. I feel foggy, feel a little misguided. I feel like somebody's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. I don't feel right. Let me try to center myself. So if you go into your meditation with an intention, so just how we talk about when you do rituals, any type of magic, make sure that you have an intention for what it is that you are creating during that time. So if you can do this with your meditation, just this is what I'm working on. So my intention is to have a clarity and understanding on this particular subject or topic, and it may come to you during the meditation. I get a lot of clarity that way. Or when you're done, write. As soon as you are finished, kind of where you're instilling yourself, pick up your pen and start writing.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Because it comes out, it will come out every time. But I'm telling you guys, the trick is to walk away from it, leave it, and forget about it. And then you come back, and it reads different with just a little space. Like, oh, got it. Okay. It's like, man, this is the same sentences I read yesterday right after I wrote it. And I was like, okay, thanks. But now,
what does that mean?
Yeah. So I think meditation is a good way to listen and to connect.
I agree. And so another way is, sometimes, and it doesn't always feel this way, and I couldn't think of another term, so you all can let me know. But I'm thinking setbacks and detours and delays. Sometimes that's a way the universe or spirit is telling us, this is not the path. Or sit your ass down because you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Just sit still.
Real talk. For real.
It's like, wait, I thought no.
Just
this is not for you.
This not for you. It's not your time.
Right. Yeah, that too.
It's not your time for this, or right, or trust us. I know you think you want to buy that. Trust us.
But
next week flooded. Oh,
Nope.
shoot. That was right. So you guys definitely.
And that's happened too. Like whenever, and this is kind of, I'll just share. So if I'm somewhere and I'm in traffic or something happens, I said, you know what? I wasn't meant to be there at that time. Something else. Maybe this is preventing me from
Absolutely
being in something, being involved in something. Thank you.
Let me tell you that part. Because before, I'm having panic attacks. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Because I do think about the people who were late to work on 9/11. I think about the people who missed their flight you know what I mean? Like, so.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, and then there's. So because, like, I'm telling you, this is because of 9/11. If I'm late for a plane and it doesn't happen, guess what? I guess that just don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
You guys know 9/11 is. Whew, that's
right. So there's so many. Man, ooh-wee. I'm thinking about times where. Like, even when I was younger, like, going out to a club.
What you just talked about with your tutoring.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't like that was like more of a detour, but stuff like that.
That's so my
Sorry.
I'm gonna share. So my daughter goes to this tutoring place. It's awesome. It's ridiculously expensive. Did, exactly. So they had been face to face, and I'd asked one of her tutors, I said, hey, can we do all virtual because of where it is in the city? The tutoring place is amazing. It's the location. So as it starts to get warmer here in Chicago, people are out more. So the last time we were at the tutoring place, I said, this is the last time we're coming here. He's either going to do this or Zoom, or we're not doing this. And I was like, I felt it in every part of my body. So he was unable to do it Zoom, so no worries. The next week, y'all, the restaurant right next door to the tutoring place, it was a shootout. Somebody driving past shooting. And I'm just like, my car could have been sitting right there. I'm like, no, you cannot tell me. I'm like, no, like you. And I mean, I felt bad because my mom was like me, and I'm like, Mom, I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, and
trusting yourself.
I was like, because I felt it strong. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, I can't come back. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. And when I saw that, I was like, damn. Okay, listen to yourself. So I was upset. This is my point. So I was upset about, him not making the accommodation to go on Zoom, because I'm like, oh man, now I gotta find. So, but I had, just let it go, because what do I say? The universe is always working on my behalf. Yep. It's always conspiring for me.
Inconvenience
right.
for life.
I mean, seriously. So I so now she's getting another tutor, someone that, when I say it all worked out, but I was so
minor. And
yes.
Get upset about stuff. I'm like, no.
Like, I could get upset. Like, are you serious? But something told me, like, it does not matter. It does not matter. Like, no, you're not coming back here. I was like, okay. And yeah, I've been over there several times. She goes, so it was so strong, and we have to trust ourselves, you guys. I'm telling you, I've been driving down the street, and I'm like, no, I think I need to go the long way. I don't know why, but I don't question this stuff anymore.
That's awesome. I do the same. I'm
I'm not questioning nothing.
No. I'm going this way.
I don't like it.
Something doesn't feel right. Don't like it. So what is your takeaway with this discussion?
I think be open to, my takeaway is be open to the idea that you have an opportunity to be in constant communication with spirit. And if you open your eyes, ears, your soul, your mind, and your heart, and still yourself enough, you can see that spirit is always talking to you. And it's just like when we say you're never alone, you're never alone. Everything is energy. Invite the type of energy that you want towards you. And that's, it's okay. I mean, when I say it sounds crazy, like I totally like talk to myself, listen to this girl sound crazy as hell. So the trees move. Okay, all right. I mean, I get it. Okay.
That's what the plan said.
Mm-hmm. So should I go ask my FICA, my palm plants? Right. You got anything from But I know it can sound different, you guys.
Yeah, it sounds different, but be open.
But just be open, like, because here's the thing: what the hell do you have to lose by allowing yourself the opportunity to just listen?
Nothing.
You're not
How
losing.
Often do we give ourselves?
Yes,
that we don't.
You have nothing to lose. This is between you and you. Yeah. You could be sitting next to somebody and doing it, and they don't know. I do that all the time. I can be sitting there. I'm going, Mia. Me. Oh, my bad. What? They were talking, y'all. So that's what I'm saying. It's you. Yeah. It's so you owe it to yourself to at least give it a shot.
Yeah, you owe it to yourself. And I have to admit, like, living life from this way has just changed things. Like I honestly, the way that I look at life, it is amazing. My level of understanding, and again, not saying that I'm anywhere or anything, or just the way that I look at things. Like, I think there are some instances where women might be jealous or, Okay, here's a story. I went to the gym with my boyfriend. This actually just happened on Monday. Monday. Went to the gym with my boyfriend, took his class, and ran into my ex-husband. And it was like, in the past, it would have been like, right. I wouldn't have felt comfortable enough to stay. But I was just like,
what? It
just didn't work out. It's okay. Hey, what, I'm not supposed to talk to you? And,
That's so excellent. Like, seriously.
You are very, very low on the pole right now. Like, you're not even a concern. Hey, you good? Cool. Good seeing you. Bye. It's just different. Not to say that it's perfect, but it's just
I understand what you mean. It's a different level of peace.
Yeah. Even painful shit. It's like, okay, you know what? There's something that's coming out of this. There's something I have to learn. There's a lesson. Still trying to find a lesson, but, it's coming at some point, I'm assuming. But
I will say, though, too, the more that you practice this muscle, the more that you build this muscle, you start to hear clearer. You will create your own dictionary and language with spirit. Like, so what something may mean to me, like for me, I mean, I love my trees. So for me, but that since I was a little kid, so that means something for me. But that's just because this is the language that me and spirit have established. This is one of the ways that we connect. Yours could be anything, like the cars that drive by, or the TV show that comes. I mean, there will be times I'm watching a movie, you guys, and it's on the same volume, but there will be I'm not touching the remote, and there will be a certain sentence that comes up where all of a sudden that part of what the character is saying is louder. Like, so it makes me look up. It's almost like they turned it up, like, no, hear this part, listen to this. I'm like, damn. And then it goes back down. And I'm just looking around like.
So no one else saw that, huh?
So, like, what's wrong with the TV? Oh, whew, okay. So I didn't just experience that by myself. So, but I think it's just your mental muscle. You guys have your own language, and
that's true.
And I know this sounds so. I'm sure. I can't do anything but laugh because I totally understand how this could sound to someone who is just like, no, ma'am.
But if they've been listening since our first episode, season 1, then I think you will. Understand.
But guys, like I said, what do you have to lose?
Nothing.
I'm not telling you to go cut bangs.
And even still, hair grows back.
Right.
You know? That's why I've never been impressed with my hair. My father's always been like, Christy, it's only hair. It'll grow back.
That's true.
Okay,
that is true.
So my takeaway just quickly is just be open and be present. And I think a lot of people have a hard time being present because a lot of us are stuck in the past, or we're thinking about what's to come, and we fail to just be in that moment. And that's something I'm learning too. I mean, I'm not saying by no means am I perfect. We are two women sharing our journey, sharing our stories, being transparent, and we're in different spaces and places in our lives. But yeah, it's be present.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, y'all just had a birthday, so
we got it.
I'm so reflective. Like during this time, I'm like, it's like
I am too around my birthday.
I'm like, man, it's all right. And everything is all right.
To her. You did get a lot of messages too, by the way.
Ooh.
So
I love you guys.
Cancer season.
I turned 45 Wednesday. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. Everything with it. I mean,
I'm telling you, even the challenging pieces are hard.
Surpasses all understanding.
The challenges, it's like they're hard, but I can push through it.
What you gonna do?
Right.
Like,
stop living.
Right.
Beat me up.
Did you die?
Right. This is what I signed up for.
I mean, so come on. But yes.
What are we about to do?
So, our homework. Wait, do
you have temple work?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So I guess I'm assuming that you guys could guess what the temple work is. I want you guys, and if any of the ways that we've talked about tickle your fancy, or you just bored and want to try something, I want everyone to just pick a method to try it.
Yeah.
If you have not tried it.
I like that.
Just commit to yourself that you will give yourself an opportunity to listen. And remember, go in with an intention. So that I think that just kind of helps strength. Yeah, no, be open, yes.
Be open.
But
I'm sorry.
No. I was saying, so go in with like what it is that you want to, like, I need some clarity or just help. I mean, you guys, something even so simple as, when your heart's feeling that ache and it's doing all type of crazy stuff. It's like, whoo, Spirit, I need you to help calm my heart. I can feel it,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, give it a couple of seconds, and it's like, okay, thank you, because I have to keep doing what it is I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, we can address this, but I'm literally in the middle of a Zoom meeting, and I like
can't panic right now.
Right? Like, can we? So, any opportunity where where you can feel I can speak and you can receive message back. Mm-hmm. I mean, anything, you guys. And so for our listeners who are already exercising that muscle, I want you guys to start creating your vocabulary and start journaling about it. Like, take some pages in your journal and say, like, so for instance, I have different signs and symbols. When my mouth starts watering when I'm doing readings for people, that means something for me. Like, I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. But when I'm receiving messages from Spirit, my mouth gets totally dry. Like, remember, I can't drink enough water. I'm like slugging it down. I'm talking about water.
That is so true.
I mean,
you guys, have you seen that movie with Mel Gibson and the little girl with the cups of water and the alien? That was Mia. She had, where's that water? Where's that water?
Like, when the channel's coming through strong, like, I'm like, it's. But so when you guys are, so for our friends who are for our queens and kings out there, hey, who are already connected, start to take note of what your language is with Spirit, Like, what do different things mean to you? So just like, we'll look up, like, what does a spider mean? If I keep seeing spiders, we'll look it up. So for you, you'll come to know that means something for you.
Yep.
So create your own language book, your vocabulary.
And keep in mind, what's for one person.
Yes, that's I'm like, this one is yours. It's like your little secret language. Didn't you have secret language? Wait, I could never talk gibberish. I could do pig Latin, but I could not do that gibberish.
What's
when
gibberish?
We were man.
I can do pig Latin.
Gibberish is okay, so how would your name be? Christy. I can't do it. I can't do it.
So it was a thing. It was like pig Latin?
Yeah, it was like blah, 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 blah. You put yeah. Somebody listening to this knows exactly what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, where any Gen X kids on the line here? Any of my older millennials, when we were growing up. So I'm talking 80s, 90s. Like when we were like kids.
Yeah. I remember pig Latin. I don't remember gibberish.
So it was, pig Latin, and and it was called gibberish. I couldn't figure that one out. I just
was like, fuck it.
I'm like, no, it was even now.
No.
It's like, it just doesn't work. But remember when you were your little friends and your girl groups and whatever, you guys would have a secret language. Like, where, like that, where you guys would know when someone says one word, someone says pony, and you're like, everybody's looking at you like, okay, weirdos. But that is, you probably had it with your sisters. I guarantee you guys had stuff where you were in front of your parents. Y'all knew what y'all were talking about, but they didn't know what y'all were talking about.
Maybe my two older sisters.
And like, even like that body language, So it's like that. It's your secret, like where it means something to you and your creator and to spirit is like that's and so when we start looking at like we're like bowing our heads and like, oh please, you know what I mean, and showing reverence, understandable, but we're not, then that means that we're not in communication with. We're always in a place where we're begging and asking and please and this is just like, hey man, what we talking, what is going on now? We on this that conversation is different, and that to me is one of the big major difference between praying and just to be clear, I still pray, but I do think there's a difference between praying and meditating.
Yes.
And even the way that you pray. And some people, and I know that there are some religious groups and philosophies out there where meditation is prayer. So, and I like to think of it like, because we do honor gods that we acknowledge are outside of us, a different type of energy. So praying to, invoking, a specific energy. Yeah.
But do you think prayer can actually mean something different for another person?
Yes. That's why that's why I was like, let me.
Because honestly, I feel like spirituality is all very individual. It's interesting. Someone was like, that's why there are issues with spirituality, because there are no like boundaries. But, anyway.
No, but Chrissy, think about what you just said. If someone is repelled from spirituality because there are no rules, just think about that. This is about your relationship with God, period. Okay, so however you describe it, what name you use to it, it's in me, it's outside of me, it's this, it's the God is in the what do you call the cows or the elephants, wherever it is that you believe you're having that conversation. Okay, it does not matter. But for me to tell you that you have to have rules and how you connect with your God.
Right.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Yes.
How fucking dare you? The audacity
Right.
to tell me that I have to have rules and how to talk to my God.
And that's where, like, all of this, like, awakening to ourselves and all of this stuff is, it shifts the way that you start looking at things, and even the way, you know, you receive stuff. Like what you just said. Back in the day, that's what we grew up knowing.
Yes.
But now it's like, now that there's a crow. And now that that things have shifted, you start looking at it a different way. Like, I don't understand. So there's this one person that's telling me I need to do this and this to be right with myself.
Yes. And I mean,
Interesting.
and so but here's the thing. If I ask for in my journey and I say, hey, for me, I need some rules, some regulations, some steps to follow. Mm-hmm. And then that is what I need and seek in order for me. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's journey is different. That's okay too. Mm-hmm. That's okay. But if you're telling me unsolicited, oh no, like you have to do this, and no. What I have to do is what I have to do, and what you have to do for you is what you have to do for you. I think it's all good. I don't care what method,
and that's another thing
to get back to you. Whatever way, honor that. Do that.
Whatever works.
All I would ask people to consider is telling anyone that they're wrong for what their journey is.
And that's something that this journey has taught me. It's like, how dare I even speak or even think or even judge? I mean, sometimes I do judge, but it's like, you know what? Look, if it floats their boat, it makes them happy. What do I have to say about it? It's really none of my business.
Right. Seriously.
It really isn't.
So I'm excited about
yay.
You know, you guys, like, really, this is and I love it because it's yours and nobody can take it away from you. Mm-hmm. It's yours. Like, if nobody gave it to, come on, man, look. For me, and again, because I really am understanding of other people's practices. Mm-hmm. For me, having the freedom to create this relationship it is life. I was about to say it's one of the best moments in my life, and it is life. So because I'm learning about the God in me and the way and in my journey, like, come on, you guys, like, and nobody can take it away from you. Mm-hmm. It's yours, all yours, whatever way you want to do it. So you might as well do what feels good for you. And like, shoot, in this journey, I remember first starting off like, oh my goodness, Christianity, oh my God, we're traumatized. But in this journey, I probably read the Bible more now than I used to.
Really?
Oh my God, yes, because there's so many references. I was like, wait a minute. Because I see things differently, and I'm not allowing somebody else to interpret. Right. I'm reading it with the intention that I understand it for the pureness of what it was. Different. Totally different.
Say that I feel that there are bits of truth in everything, like in all of the religions, which is why it's very helpful to, like what you were saying, like reading the Bible and getting back into, like, really learning about it all, because it's telling you.
I mean, I can look at the Tao Te Ching, the Bible, the Torah, the themes are so similar to the point where I can see exactly, like, because like if I'm looking at a different religious text and all of them say the same thing, and then one of them says a little bit of this and then it's switched up that part, you can basically be like, oh, okay, get it, because everybody else is saying all this and you're saying all this, but you add some mild sauce on it and some lemon pepper. Yeah. So I'm going to make it look good and smell good, but it's not, you know what I mean? You can tell. Like but anyway, guys, sorry. We went off on a tangent. Christy, what's the crystal?
Oh, no, that was a good tangent though. So the crystal for today is, I'm going to make sure that I can say this right. And one throat chakra.
Mm-mm.
Chrysanthemum.
Damn it, I want you to
stone.
fuck it up. Because you know I fuck up on it.
Chrysanthemum stone. So this stone acts as a catalyst for activating the dormant capacities that lie within individuals and can awaken their sleeping potential. Sleeping or meditating with this stone can help you receive inner messages that may clear the nature of your purpose. So it helps you to better connect with source. This stone also helps to connect you with the remembrance of the energy of primal creation and one's soul's birth. It's a great stone to work with to manifest on all levels. Element is earth, helps or works with all chakras.
Ooh.
I know, it's pretty, right? The affirmation is, I give myself freely to the inner call of my soul and will follow it to the full fruition of its purpose. And I thought this was the perfect crystal for today.
I love this.
Mm-hmm.
This is really pretty. I just looked this. Oh wow!
All natural, like come on, like that happens naturally in the earth. You can't tell me.
Okay,
like,
that's a really dope stone. Not like
pretty?
I need another. Like I need another crystal. I have not worked with this. When you said chrysanthemum, you know what I visualized was that snowflake obsidian, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm like, wait, is this another name for that? So then I looked it up, but this is dope because I have used that snow, that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that.
It's very beautiful. So, all right, you all, thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to Two Queens and Crystal Things.
Thanks.
Before we go, please show us some love. Give us a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, if you have any questions for us, you all know how to find us. I will say, for those of you who have donated, I'm not sure who's donated. We're still figuring out this platform. Thank you for those who've contributed. If you haven't contributed but wanted to, thank you. Because we enjoy doing this. We love it. And this is honestly something that we would love to do full time, among other things, building from this. So thank you all for your support. Follow us on IG, Wings Unleashed 4444, Christy Edwards. Y'all know how to find us. But again, thank you. Life. Yeah.
Yes. Life,
light, peace,
love, and soul, y'all. Till next week.
Have a good day.